Assalamualaikum and very good morning. I bid to Sir Faiz and to all our fellow classmates. So today, I, Nur Atika binti Sharudin, and
I'm Nur Kamila Shafika.
okay, both of us are going to talk about and discuss about our case study regarding the Wealth Reform Act. So proceeding to our first presenter.
So I will be explaining or summarizing about the case study where it is about the Welfare Reform Act. It is about the United States government wanted to change how the normal government funded welfare to the citizens of the United States. So the government under Bill Clinton want to reduce the people's dependency on the government's financial assistance, where the US government trying to reduce the financial assistance towards the low income families as well as the unmarried parents. So the government wanted to increase the government wanted to increase job welfare programs so that the people will start to have their own responsibility towards their own life. So it has been a decade-long debate of the people where they discuss about the individual social responsibility as well as the role of the government to help the less unfortunate people. For the first question, the question is about who favors the individual-oriented fundamental moral unit and who favors community-oriented fundamental unit, and which we find most compelling in our viewpoint. So in this case, Democratic President Bill Clinton as well as the Republican-led Congress favors the individual fundamental moral unit, while Peter Edelman, Sir Edward Kennedy, as well as the other officers that resign from the government administration favors the community-oriented fundamental moral unit. As our point of view, we find that community-oriented fundamental moral unit is more compelling, as the initiative of the government to increase job welfare doesn't really help the poor families, as some of the families didn't get the job at all. And research stated that the number of the poor families is increasing even after the initiatives of President Bill Clinton to reduce the financial assistance or welfare to the people. There are about 1.5 million single mother are jobless and are without cash aid. And other than that, more than 40% of single mom remain that way for more than a year. So we find that this situation is unfair to these less fortunate people, as the government seems to neglect their responsibility towards this kind of people. Even though Bill Clinton said that it might help the family, but it actually not, since they started to do negative and unethical conduct to support their families.
So for question number 2, I simplify it in a simpler words. So whether the government or the societies have the obligation to take care of these less fortunate and poor families. So from my opinion, yes, government and societies do have obligation towards these people. Why is it? Because from the government side, these poor families and the less fortunate people are still part of their people. So the government originally has the obligation to take care of the welfare of the people. So since this poor family and or the less fortunate family are still a part of these people under the supervision or obligation of the government, so yes, the government do have the obligation to take care of their welfare. So as a society, we do have the obligation to at least take care of these poor families. Why? Because we are living in one society. Meaning to say that, okay, for example, we are living in one neighborhood. So we are the societies of the neighborhood. So um, we, as one of the family or people living in the neighborhood, have to at least have empathy and sympathy toward these poor families. Maybe they need just a little help, so we should play our role in try to reduce their hardship and burden. So yes, we do have obligation towards these people.
As for question 3, the question is regarding um, do we think that everyone in our home country has equal opportunity to succeed in society? Why or why not? Do you think success is the sole responsibility of the individual, or does government have a role to play? Explain your position. So, in our point of view, there are partially equal opportunities given to the people of Malaysia. So, there are several cases, such as in the education sector, where the public universities, the boarded school are mainly entered by the Malay races student. So this gives an unfair opportunity to the student of various races to succeed. So even though the individual itself has actually played their role to succeed, but when the government has given the limitation for the people to succeed, so it gives an unequal opportunities to the people. Other than that, there are also cases in the workplace industry where the government civil servant mainly the Malays. So even though the individuals, such as the other races, China and Indians, and as well as the others, has played their role to succeed, to have their place in the government. But however, when the government has give the limitation for the other races to work in this government sector, it also gives an unfair opportunity to these people. So the government has to play their role to maintain the work opportunity to the people without considering their races.
So for question number 4, the question is, how might individuals with different notion of fundamental moral right reacted to this Wealth Reform Act? So there are 3 fundamental moral of unit, which are individualistic, feminist, and community. So for the feminist, it is the relationship with people, and for the community, it is the aggregate good fundamental moral of unit. So basically, people with individualistic fundamental moral of unit, with especially the rich people or those who have power or anything, would have not been bothered by this Wealth Reform Act, because it does not affect them that hard. I mean that bad. So since this Wealth Reform Act only give impact on those who are from the lower income family, so these people with individualistic fundamental moral of unit does not bothered by the changes in Wealth Reform Act. As for the people with the feminist theory or the relationship with people, they might disagree a little bit on the Wealth Reform Act, since it seems to burden people with lower income. So they might think about other people, but they would not have that effort, or they wouldn't put any much effort for into trying to help these people. But they do have the audacity to disagree with this Wealth Reform Act. As for the people with the community fundamental moral of unit, they would definitely put in some effort in try to help or try to disagree with the Wealth Reform Act. Maybe they would do like petition or anything to try to change again the Wealth Reform Act to take care of these lower income people in order to lessen their burden. So for the last question, how might the awareness of fundamental moral unit help us to better understand the differences between the political party? So political party presented or they give different manifesto or planning regarding to what they are going to do about the government and the nation. So based on the manifesto or planning, we can clearly see that there are several goals and targets that they were trying to achieve. So if we know about this fundamental moral of unit, we can eventually differentiate the interests of these political parties. So some political parties aim to develop the nation, but with the goal of achieving as many wealth or benefit and profit as much as they could. So I would say that this type of political parties possess this individualistic fundamental moral unit, because they only care about the profit they gain, and the development they made sometimes has bad effect on the citizens. Beside from individualistic political parties, we also have these parties which concerns on their relationship with the people. So these political parties will go around, like not hanging out, but they would try to involve with this citizen, make conversation or interact with these people to create a good relationship and strong relationship between them and the citizen. So these people is different from the individualistic fundamental moral unit or political parties. But and also the last one, which is the political parties that concerns on the welfare of the citizen. These political parties possess the community fundamental moral unit, where they try to help the people in needs, or try to facilitate the needs of people, taking care of the welfare, fix things. This kind of political parties aims for the betterment of the country and not only for the profit and wealth. So this awareness of fundamental moral unit help us to better understand the goals and aim of the political parties, so that we can choose wisely.
However, there are certain political parties that are not only focuses on one fundamental moral unit. There are few political parties that uses most of the fundamental moral unit, but in several different situations. So the way of we this analyzing this political party is by looking at how they choose the most accurate fundamental moral unit to solve the situation that happened. For example, when there is an economic gap between the Bumiputras and non-Bumiputras, the government choose to use the individual fundamental moral unit to help reduce the economic gap of the Bumiputras and non-Bumiputras. Other than that, the government also has used the feminist fundamental moral unit by making the economic ties with the ASEAN countries to help improve the economy of the government. For the community-oriented fundamental moral unit, the political parties also has used to give the financial welfare, such as the BRIM or the students' financial assistance, to help them to support their life activities.
Hence, for the conclusion, I would say that there are no good or bad in choosing this fundamental moral of unit. These individualistic, feminist or community fundamental moral of unit could be used differently based on the situation given. So it is up to a person to choose which of the fundamental moral of unit
by
that is
assessing
by assessing
the strength and weaknesses of the situation itself.
yes. Okay, so that's all from us. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.